He wasn't lying. Paris does have a great selection of clothing. I had to go and buy clothes because I had nothing for my shows, for anything. And if you ever do go to Paris, take some extra money for the clothes shopping. It's amazing. And try and also pack an extra pair of self-esteem. Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French, because they're not your friends. Yeah, I've never been to a country where you are truly on your own when you're shopping. Like, you walk into a store, nobody helps you, nothing. You don't know who works there, you don't know who's doing anything. Literally, it's like undercover employee. You're just walking around, just like 20 minutes, nobody helped me. And then finally I started picking my own clothes, and then I heard like an annoyed voice behind me. It was like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Hi, yes, I need to get a few clothes, please. My luggage was lost." And then Detroit, I got roasted more than I've ever been roasted in my life. Ever. I got roasted. Everything I chose came with a scathing review. I was like, "Yeah, could I please get this in a medium?" It's like, medium? No, you mean large or extra large, no? Yeah, no, this one is the medium for your body. I don't think so, no? I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "No, yeah, I think you are large, extra. I can bring that one for you, okay? Medium is too much for the shirt, okay?" I'm like, "What?" Yo, everything. There's a point where there's a jacket I wanted to buy. I was like, "Yeah, could I get this?" He's like, "Oh no, this one for your skin tone is not great. No, you have to think about what is complementary for the colors inside the fabric and also inside your face, okay? This one is not the best." I was like, "Yo, I already own something like this." He's like, "And you are wearing it?" Well, not anymore. He's like, "No, you can wear it if you want. No, c'est tranquille, go ahead. I was like, "No, you threatened me now." They you know what, it's just different. A friend was like, "Dude, the French are assholes, right?" I was like, "No, I don't think that they're assholes. I think they're just very honest, right? And a lot of the time, it's hard to tell the difference between the two." Because one day I was speaking to a French woman, and I worked up the courage to ask her. I said, "Hey, why are the French like this?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Like when you're in like a store, they seem very mean." She's like, "Oh no, they are not being mean, they are just being themselves, no? Maybe because you are used to coming in a country where people are, they are so afraid that you're not going to tip them, that, they are all on top of you. Can I help you? Can I help you?" But in France, we are making sure that everybody is getting like a good salary, a good wage. So we are not, so stressed about that, huh? In America, it's like, "Oh, the customer is king, But in France, you know what we do to kings. So, it's not the same here. It's been a wonderful trip. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. There's never a dull moment in South Africa. Even just flying around the country has been exciting for me. It's been an injection of South Africa. That's what it's felt like. Just traveling around, particularly because the flying has changed, right? So I told my team in South Africa, I was like, "Hey, what's the plan?" And they were like, "Well, they're like, who do you want to fly? How are we flying around the country?" I said, "We do the usual. We're going to fly with SAA." And then they were like, "SAA, it's finished." I'm like, "What do you mean it's finished?" They're like, "Yeah, it's gone. SABC and SAA generations, all of it's gone." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean it's just finished? So how are we flying?" They're like, "Well, you've got to choose another one." I was like, "Well, you recommend." They're like, "Well, we could do like FlySafair." I was like, "All right, is it good?" They're like, "Well, it's not great, but it's reliable. It'll get you where you need to go." I was like, what do you mean it's not great?" They're like, "Well, they just make you pay for everything, and it's like it's very they just make it very efficient." I didn't realize how efficient. Yo, FlySafair is on another level, guys. I don't know who's running that airline, but they're serious, eh? They don't waste time. They make sure they make their money. They make you pay for everything. Everything. Yeah, you buy the plane ticket. That's just the beginning of the transaction. Yeah, you want a specific seat, you pay. You want to bring a bag, you pay. Yeah, you want food on the plane? You pay. Yeah, you want to board early? You pay. Those people, they're finding everything, yeah? It's only a matter of time before you're on a FlySafair flight, and 10 minutes before landing, they come up to your seat like, I'm sorry, sir, it looks like you didn't pay for the landing option. So we're gonna need you to jump out now if you don't mind. You're like, yeah, but can I pay now? Sorry, sir, we don't take cards. I don't think I've ever been on an airline like FlySafair. It was the most South African experience I could ever ask for. Everything was different. Everything. The flight was supposed to be 2 hours flying to Cape Town. It took 1 hour 30. Everyone said it's normal. How? How are you getting to a place 30 minutes earlier? You're flying in a straight line, in the sky. How? People are like, oh, that's what happens with FlySafair. No, what do you mean that's what happens? Doesn't that freak you out? So what's happening up there? Is the pilot taking shortcuts? He's just there, busy cutting. Yeah, cut here, double up. 10 by stratas. Everything on that flight is different. When you land and you get to the gate, you're not allowed to stand up. No one told me that. Yeah, I stood up by myself. I was there. Everyone around me was like, I was like, I want to get my bag. They're like, oh, you must wait. You must wait. Yo, guys, and the way people talk in that plane, it's almost like FlySafair came with a shambok one day to everyone. Because not a single passenger. I sat back down, I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you wait for Safair to say you can stand. You don't want to see them get angry. What did they do to you, South Africa? You can tell me. That whole flight was different. Oh, you know what was interesting? There was no recline button. Yeah, that was different. Yeah, there's no, you can't recline your seat. Yeah, the seat is there. And then I got into it. And then I was like, okay, let me relax. And then I was like, whoa, where's the, okay. And then, you know, sometimes you don't know where a thing is. So I was looking, I'm busy pulling things. I'm like, where is it? And this is something that could only happen in South Africa. There's this Indian guy sitting next to me. And he sees me, because he's fidgeting around, sees me fidgeting. And at some point he turns and he's like, hey, Trevor, what's wrong there, man? And I said, no, man, I can't find the recline button. And without missing a beat, this man was like, oh no, don't worry. They sell it there when you start flying. Yeah, they're gonna bring it with the Pringles and the water and stuff. You can buy it, it's 55 Rand. Guys, he said it so seriously. And I'd paid for so many other things that I believed it. I was like, God damn, this airline is crazy. I was like, what an insane airline. I was like, they make you pay for the recline button? You know what an idiot I looked like when they came with that cart? They was pushing that cart down. I was like, and so what would you like? I was like, can I please have the recline button? I want to lean back. Everything on FlySafair was fun. Everything. My favorite thing on FlySafair is that it feels personal. That's what I like. You know, I feel like I'm on a South African airline and it feels personal, it feels intimate. I feel like they're flying me. Mostly because they look at me. You know, when they're making the announcements, you see who's making the announcements. That doesn't happen when you fly anymore. Flying has become so impersonal. You know, they just put down that video monitor and then you just watch a little safety video. You know, there's no warmth, there's no character. You've seen it probably when you travel, when you leave South Africa. You know, when you fly Emirates, you know, and then they'll be like, please watch the safety video. And then the video comes on. شكرا خيلت ولا خيلنا ورليلا إماراتي شكرا هيلا خطوة ورليلا السلام عليكم إلى كارليلا ولا خطوة تاجي إماراتي كديلا ولا خطيلا كا حبيبي لكرويا يلا يرد خطر ولا ناتيكا إماراتي هجكورا خيلا محمد خليا لا بن صالح كدراينا أعطي خليل بدينا بودنا شكرا. Welcome to Emirates. That's not personal. That's not for me. FlySafair feels like it's custom made. You see the person, they take that telephone off the wall. On our flight, they had one person making the announcement and another person doing the actions. Yo, guys, I was having the time of my life. Because that woman took the phone off, she's like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, aboard this FlySafair flight. Please pay attention to the following safety announcement.
you will find the seatbelt will be fastened like this. And unfastened like this.
Just to make that person feel like they were actually doing something worthwhile, I did it with them. When they were like, unfastened, I was like...
Please also note you will find a life vest under your seat in case of a water landing emergency. Place it over your head and pull the strips to inflate the jacket. If it does not inflate, you can blow into the red toggles on either side.
I love it. It was interesting. It was unique. It felt like I was home. You know, the whole flying experience felt like... The only thing that doesn't feel unique is the pilots. That's what I've noticed. Actually, everywhere in the world. If you want to feel what a country's like, listen to the flight attendants, right? But then the pilots, no matter where you are all the same. It's almost like they went to the same school where they've been trained the same way to fly. They've all got that same sexy pilot's voice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, flight attendants can sound however they like. You know, they do that thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. No, there's no pilot like that. When pilots come on, they always do that thing of theirs. Boom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Aboard this FlySafair flight. This is your captain, John Davies speaking, and I'm going to be taking you down. It's going to be approximately 2 hours. We're just waiting for the last few bags to get loaded, and we're going to be closing the doors, heading off shortly in a northeasterly direction. Taking to cruising. Like, why are they always running out of breath? Is there a reason that pilots cannot complete one single sentence when they're making announcements? Every time that they're like, we're going to be down cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. It always sounds like they're getting head in the cockpit. Can anybody tell me why? Why does it sound like every pilot is receiving immense amounts of pleasure and they can't get a single sentence out? Every single pilot. It's like someone started just before they started. They were there and they're like, no. Welcome everybody, let me introduce you to your cabin crew on this flight. In the rear we've got Tandeka, we've got John, and we've got Lisa who are going to be looking after you. Up front my co-pilot, Mr. DeVette's going to be looking after us. Flight time should be not too long. Keep your seatbelts fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. I'll let you know once it's safe to move around, but until, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Oh, FlySafair. Felt like home.
Love you, Trevor.
Ah, man, love you too.